Live from Waterford and Dungarvan, this is Waterford at 1 News.
Good afternoon, I'm Julie Smith. Today's top stories. A significant quantity of heroin has been seized in Waterford. A city centre hotel had to be evacuated due to a hoax bomb scare. A technological university for the South East takes a step closer. And in sport, Manchester City will begin the defence of their Premier League title away to West Ham on August 10th. €10,000 worth of heroin has been seized on the streets of Waterford as part of an ongoing Garda operation into the supply of controlled drugs in the city. The drugs were discovered when the Waterford Divisional Drugs Unit stopped and searched a man in the Sally Park area of the city at 20 to 6 yesterday. The 34-year-old was carrying 230 deals of heroin. He was arrested and detained for questioning at Waterford Garda Station. Gardaí say the value of the heroin is estimated to be €10,000. He remains in custody. A hotel in Waterford had to be evacuated during a wedding yesterday following a bomb scare. Just before 8 o'clock, a caller rang 999 to say pipe bombs had been left in the toilets at Tracy's Hotel on the Quay. Gardaí arrived and the hotel was quickly evacuated. There were 224 people on the premises at the time. John Tracy, Director and General Manager of the hotel, described what happened.
Continue on with our normal day in work, and at 9 p.m. two Gardaí came in to the hotel. And so my operations manager, Robert, approached them and said, can we help you there? And they were waiting for the super to come down. But they explained to the situation that they got a phone call in to the 999 number that someone had left two pipe bombs in one in the gents and one in the ladies' toilets.
The hotel was searched from top to bottom and nothing was found. A wedding was taking place at the time. John says they were very understanding.
We were fairly sure it was a hoax phone call, but safety of human life is our number one priority here. So, look, I had to make sure everybody was safe. It'd be worse if something actually was here and I didn't clear the premises. So we had to make sure they were fine with us, to be perfectly honest. The bride was upset. But she was really happy coming back in, and she said thank you very much for everything. So they dealt with it very well.
The Technological University for the South East is now a step closer. A memorandum of understanding has been agreed between Waterford Institute of Technology, IT Carlow and the Teachers Union of Ireland. The deal agreed at the Workplace Relations Commission will now be put to a staff ballot next week. If members vote in favour, it would mean a major hurdle holding up the establishment of a Technological University for the South East will have been cleared. Waterford Minister of State John Halligan says the government has done all it can to ensure university designation for the region. He urged both ITs to progress the application process as quickly as possible.
The government have set all the money aside. The legislation has been passed in the Dáil. It is now up to the Institute of Technology in Waterford and Carlow. Really and honestly, and I'd be the first to say if I could, I don't know what more the government can do. The money has been given. I think that all is probably completed at this stage between both Institutes of Technology. Like all, I would urge both Institutes of Technologies to drive forward now and do it. We've passed the legislation in the Dáil. We've made the money available and it's up to them to do it now. We can't push it anymore, but it kind of urged them to instinctively kind of grab the opportunity while it's there and let's form a joint university.
The Transport Minister has been called on to clarify some of the conditions that surround the funding for the Waterford Airport extension. The Cabinet approved €5 million in capital funding if the project can be delivered for the estimated amount of €12 million. Sinn Féin TD David Cullinan says there's always the possibility there could be a cost overrun, so there needs to be some level of flexibility shown by the department in relation to the conditions that have been set.
One of the concerns that it would have that the state and the department is essentially saying that it must come in on €12 million. But I think one of the opt-outs for that is that the fact that the state contribution will be capped by €5 million. So my read on that is that if it runs over the €12 million budget, then that will have to be borne by the private investors or by the local authorities, that the department will be making a €5 million contribution and no more than that.
The CEO of Kerry Airport says the development of Waterford Airport would have a significant impact on the area. The Cabinet has approved in principle €5 million in capital funding for the runway extension, which is hoped to be completed for spring of next year. Private investors and the local authorities are putting up a further €7 million. John Mulhern told Damien Tiernan on Daisha today that the hard job now is to attract carriers.
And for them, it will be attracting airlines and route developers to consider Waterford as an option to bring their expensive assets, their aircraft, to fly into Waterford. So that's the biggest struggle Waterford Airport will have now. We have the same fight ourselves in Kerry.
It's hoped that some major new retailers will set up shop in Waterford following a visit to the city last week. An initiative to showcase what Waterford has to offer was very positive, according to the council's CEO. More than a dozen international retailers were in the city for a presentation and a tour of the city centre. The event was led by Waterford Council and Retail Excellence Ireland. Michael Walsh said he was pleased with how it went.
It went very positively. I suppose that's part of an ongoing sort of dialogue that we'd be having with retailers, encouraging them to come to Waterford and pointing out opportunities that are here. So last week was just one where we brought maybe 10 or 15 retailers into Waterford to look at the existing offer, and we were primarily focused on the existing city centre in that context. So I think most of them were very positively disposed anyway, and certainly found value in the day.
In the UK, Conservative MPs have voted in the party's first ballot to elect a new leader. At least one of the 10 candidates will be eliminated from the race for Downing Street in the next few minutes. The 10 candidates need at least 17 votes to get through to further ballots, which will be held next week. Boris Johnson is the current frontrunner, while Mark Harper, Esther McVeigh and Rory Stewart are expected to struggle in today's vote. The Caorlaach of the Portlaw Kilmacthomas district of Waterford says his first priority will be to get the name changed back. Fine Gael's Liam Brazel was elected by 3 votes to 2 ahead of Labour's Ger Barron. The electoral area was redrawn last year and reduced from 6 seats to 5 after the local elections last month. Councillor Brazel says he wants it changed back to Cumra.
I don't think it's fair on our electorate, the people of the whole of the Cumra district, calling it the Kilmacthomas Portlaw. Because when I was back in Ballymac canvassing this year there, people just said to me, so we can't vote for you. You're in the Kilmacthomas Portlaw district. And the person that came up with the Portlaw Kilmacthomas district, I don't think it was right. I don't think it should be right. And it couldn't be right.
Fianna Fáil's John O'Leary agrees that the name should be changed back to Cumra.
The Cumra area was an icon, and I think we benefited greatly from having a name such as Cumra, because it means a lot, and it does mean a lot to a lot of people. And I would be hoping that can be rescinded. I don't know what the procedure was or how successful we will be in doing that, but I certainly would be supportive of it.
The Waterford Garden Trail Festival continues with 2 events coming up this weekend. Tomorrow there's the launch of Sayonara, the first ever Irish language translation of the folklore of Lafcadio O'Hearn at the Japanese Gardens in Tramore. On Sunday, the John Benjamin Festival takes place at Dramana House. On June 23rd, Curramore House hosts an outdoor presentation of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Estate manager at Mount Congreve, Ray Sinnott, says there's great variety in the events available.
There's different events in all the gardens spread across the county. The John Benjamin Festival in Dramona House on the 16th of June. Then Curramore, of course, have their different events out there. They have Midsummer Night's Dream and they have Dusk Chorus, the Songs of Nightfall. You can just turn up for most of these events. With the ticketed events, I think, in Curramore, certainly for their plays that are out there, you need to book tickets in advance. All the information can be found on the Facebook page, Waterford Garden Trails.
WLR Sport.
Thanks to Boland's Hyundai Waterford. Preview the award-winning 192 Hyundai range. See bolands.com.
And a very good afternoon. I'm Gavin Whelan. First to soccer, and Manchester City will begin the defence of their Premier League title away to West Ham. It'll be played at lunchtime on Saturday, August the 10th. Before that, runners-up Liverpool kick off at newly promoted Norwich on the Friday night. Aston Villa begin their return to the top flight at Tottenham, while Sheffield United will be away to Bournemouth. Blades and Republic of Ireland defender Enda Stevens says they've a simple goal this season.
It's obviously to stay in the league. It's but first and foremost, we're going to enjoy it. We're going to have a right go at it and see how far we can go. But obviously, staying up is the main aim.
For the first time in the competition's history, the schedule will incorporate a winter break in February and concludes on the 17th of May 2020. The Waterford Schoolboy League will face the Carlow League in the quarter-finals of the Kennedy Cup this evening. The game will be played on pitch 3 with a 5pm kick-off time in that one. Meanwhile, Tramore Football Club is holding an inclusion event this evening. 40 to 50 young adults with disabilities will be joining club members and coaches for a fun-filled night. There'll be live music, food and drinks and an appearance from local dignitaries, including newly elected MEP Grace O'Sullivan. The event there kicks off at 7 and all are welcome to attend. Next to news of golf, and Brooks Koepka starts his bid to win a third consecutive US Open golf title later. The feat hasn't been achieved since Willie Anderson won 3 in a row in 1905. Having won in Canada last week, Rory McIlroy is chasing a first major title since 2014. The world number 3 is aiming to hit the ground running at Pebble Beach this afternoon.
The majors that I've won, I've started every single one of them really well, rounds in the sort of mid-60s, and if I can take that freedom that I played with on Saturday and Sunday last week and get off to a good start, I'll be hopefully right in the tournament from the get-go and stay there.
McIlroy tees off alongside Mark Leishman and former Irish Open champion John Ram. That's at 4 minutes to 4 Irish time. Shane Lowry and 2010 champion Graeme McDowell get their first rounds underway at 13 minutes past 4. Staying with golf, and with Seamus Power not playing this weekend, all eyes are on the European Challenge and Robin Dawson. The Waterford native is in the Pas de Calais Open in France, which is the host venue this week, and after 15 holes of his round this morning, Robin is currently 5 over par with the current lead in the clubhouse at 4 under. Next to news of athletics, and Thomas Barr returns to action this evening in the Diamond League in Oslo. He's out at 8:32pm Irish time, running in another top class 400 metre hurdles race in a field of 7. Thomas, running from lane 3, still faces stiff opposition, especially with the hot favourite Karsten Warholm from Norway, the world and European champion in the field, as well as world and European medalists, all with better seasonal times than Thomas. Hopefully he can respond positively to the challenge. Roscommon have named their team for Sunday's Connacht Senior Football Final against Galway in Salthill. 3 changes from the semi-final win over Mayo, with Enda Smith coming back into the starting 15 to captain the side. Diarmuid Murtagh and Conor Devaney also start. Hubert Darcy, Andrew Glennon and Ultan Harney are the players to make way for that one. And finally, to news of racing, where today's action comes later on this evening up there in Dublin, where the first is off at 5:35 this evening. And there was local success, of course, yesterday for 2 Waterford train winners up there in Punchestown. 5-2 Chance Penny Out, owned by Dacia Country Store Limited in Dungarvan and trained by John Kiley, provided Villarstown jockey Mikey Hamill with his first winner since returning from the UK, where he spent the last 7 years. Henry de Bromhead was also in the winners' enclosure yesterday, courtesy of 4-1 shot Stacks Mountain. So a very productive day for the Waterford trainers up there in Punchestown yesterday afternoon. Leopardstown, of course, gets underway today at 5:35. Sports news brought to you by Boland's.